Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be reviewing a game I played against my 1Q student. We were able to start meeting up again, not as frequently as before the pandemic, but every so often. So we're able to do teachings and lessons again, so figured I would make a video on one of our games that we have played recently. Black did pretty well in the opening, but the main story of the game is the fighting, just like most games. Black just handled the fights not well. So let's look at that and see what can be learned. So also I played P3 of 5-3, not super common, but again I like to keep things fresh, keep my student on their toes, because in tournament or even online, who knows what your opponent's going to play. So we can only hope that they play something reasonable in the opening and not something like Tengen or other unorthodox openings. But figured I could at least play 5-3, see what happens. Approach and kick, very common nowadays. As opposed to just playing here, the goal for white is to get sente, because this move isn't directly sente. Whereas if you kick first, the reason why this will most likely end in sente now is, sure, white has kicked and made the black stone stronger, but because white has more or less limited the corner, black will now want to protect these two stones. Whereas before, if white just backs off, if black goes anywhere, if white tries to pincer, black can just come into the corner, whether give it up or play from the stone or just give it up. So that's kind of the idea. Whereas doing it this way, if black ignores, white would be able to attack the two stones more severely. Plus, white forces black to add a stone. So, even if black wants to give up that stone, it's just one stone, black can give it up. Whereas once white kicks, kind of forces black to add another stone, so the stone's a little heavier. So in the game, black does answer, a very reasonable move. Black has 2 stones, so black extends 3. And then I actually just fill in my Shamari. And then black plays from there. Yep, just finishing corners. And I approach from here. Didn't want to approach from this side because it felt pretty flat on the bottom, and even if black just jumps normally, while it does leave this peep, it feels pretty nice for black. Black's development feels better. Didn't want to do this either, because I felt very similarly. Black can just kind of flatten white, and black would be taking a pretty large side. That's why I play from this side, try to break it up. And here black goes for the kick and jump. And this is okay, but because white has P3, later if white gets a move at P3, or from P3, such as H3, it puts pressure on the black stones, but is also a pretty nice extension. So like if black fixes, now when white, backs off, this is pretty nice. This feels pretty nice for white. Not saying black can't handle this, but it's why I'm a little hesitant on it. So I think black really should just pincer. And if white jumps, then just play low. Now, black did kick and then come up. So this move tells me, okay, black wants to put pressure on these white stones. And, if white plays something pretty passive, something like this, because black's super strong, this sort of move could actually be, you could actually see this move pretty immediately, actually, because black has a stone at C14. So even if white plays a little bit tighter, gives black sente and black can go elsewhere. But white I went all the way, paid the shoulder hit, just to kind of see how my student would respond. Because of course the Honte move would be either this extension or this extension. or even this one, or you get the idea. Somewhere here. Playing here is, of course, way too far. What is that? If 2, jump 6. Yeah. But it, in and of itself, it is, you know, directly threatening the black stone. So black, I think black's answer is reasonable, and then jump up. And now black, this is black's real first mistake. Because it actually doesn't protect the corner. And it still leaves the weakness at h17. So this move actually isn't doing all that much for black. Right, black kicked here. So black should feel like, and white ignored. So black should really try to get a move along the side here. Whether it's there or here. Yeah. You know, if white plays the tiger's mouth, black can, you know, peep and then connect like this. This is very natural for black, and you can see white's just getting cut up. So it's actually pretty difficult for white. You know, if white just makes a base, when black jumps, black would be attacking those 2 stones. Yeah, if white comes down, black exchanges this move here to destroy white's shape and create cutting points. White needs to connect here to prevent this stone from connecting at b13. If white connects here, black can then connect, and white is unable to connect like this because black can capture. Now, white could also consider, you know, giving up like this and then playing something like this. So this also means black could also just, you know, leave that as a backdoor connection. If black needs it, black can connect. Or black can also just continue coming out like this. So black really needed to play something along the side here. But this move is just, one, it doesn't protect the corner and doesn't protect the side because there's still a weakness at h17. But it also lets white play the first move on the left. And you can see it would be as if white was able to play here. So white got a further extension than he should have, for almost for free, because again, this move does not protect the corner or the side. So I don't understand, well, I understand the reasoning, but it's just away from what's important. So especially, you know, black played high at f4, so black should think to try to attack these. Yeah. And there's still potential for attack, but you can see if black comes in now, black's might be the one in danger. So, and then black plays this move. This sort of move, you'll see it in old style books, but here it's not so good. Or nowadays it's not so good. It's just better to shoulder hit on the p3 stone or attach here or attach here. Usually you attach on this side, but in this case, because black has stones at f4, I can actually see black doing this. You know, if white hanes, connects, you know, black can turn and try to, you know, really build this side. And that's kind of the idea. If black just plays a move like this, white can just go elsewhere. So the reason, that's why black played a move like this in the game, or should have probably done something like this instead, because you're trying to get sente. You're trying to get sente. By putting pressure in the corner, especially since white played the super tight shimari. This corner is basically already white's. So you're okay with white adding stones, because if white was already going to have the 12 points anyways, if white solidifies those points, white actually hasn't gained anything. White has just, you know, added more stones for like maybe a few extra points. So that's why it's good. You see a lot of attachments to especially this knight's shimari. This side, again, is possible, but it feels like wrong direction. Black can look for this sort of move, like this, but I think either this move, this is kind of like the natural move, or this move. This is very special in this case. But this move, because this move, it actually allows white, what white should have done in the game is to play here. Again, cutting black off the p5 stone from his stones here in the bottom left. So if black attaches directly, white will extend here. And if black connects, then white can actually just attack black. Black can exchange this once, though, and do something like this. But even after this, you can see black's shape has this very obvious peep weakness, right? Like white wouldn't do this directly, but this sort of move, it's pretty hard for black to answer. And if black plays pretty tightly, then white gets a nice extension from the upper right while attacking these. These stones are not that light. And because white played n3, white can look for this extension. So white should have played here. I played this move. I was just saying, okay, I'll just build the right side, but I think I should try to attack black here, especially because I have a high position in the upper right. Here, black, this move is good, and after looking at it, I should do this. Hane on the bottom. The answer is actually not super clear because usually this sort of attachment and crosscut is pretty good, but in this case, it's not that great. Because when white goes, when you're Atari, this is what you kind of look for. And this sort of attach and crosscut. White can just kind of block this and just extend here. And this goes pretty hard for black to win because even though black, you know, gets the Atari and has to Atari once more, you can see black can't actually, doesn't have a lot of forcing moves. And even if white just connects too, those are probably simpler. White can connect and black can't come here because white can cut, and yeah. So and after this, if black does anything else, black just gets too heavy. Like here, white just extends. Black extends, white extends up. Maybe even, just extend up. Yeah. You know, if black tries to play here, white can just come in on the left. So you can see white's position is much stronger than black's. So I should have Haned here. I Haned here because my reading was, if black gave up this stone, I thought this position was pretty good for white, but actually I don't think it's that good for white because black can jump across here, and white has to capture. But after this, black takes the corner, which isn't small, and white has not weak groups, but white has a clump of stones on the bottom, and maybe even black doesn't exchange this. Black just connects. It does something like this. White doesn't have a base on the right or the left or the bottom. And it's not super easy to seal in black either. Alright, white's shape here is not that great. Black might be able to cut too. It is pretty complicated though. Whereas just playing here is just simple for, sorry about that, is just simple for white. No reason to make, because this forces black to cut, there's no reason to make complications here. This keeps all the white stones connected and black kind of floating. So this is probably a greedy move. Atari. Black descends is another, this is also will end up good for black. Because in this case, if black does this, Atari, because this might be the first instinct for a lot of players, Atari, black needs to come back anyways to play here, and white has Sente. So the proper move here, if white goes here, black has to turn. Black has to turn like this. But when white plays here, these stones have an extra liberty. And that extra liberty actually changes a lot because black can cover. Or clamp, I mean. Because if white tries to cut, then black cuts. And then it now captures two stones. If white even connects, then black connects. And even though you didn't capture a stone, you can see you haven't forced white to capture the stones at P4. So even if white does something like this, black has made a pretty solid position in Sente. And it might even just be good enough to just fix the bottom. Because again, the point of, black's move here initially was to get all the way along the bottom. Again, playing a move like this is, passive, and it, gives up some points here potentially. So this here would be, I think, a pretty good result for black. White does get a ton of thickness though. So maybe this move would be slow and black needs to do something on the right side. I don't know. Kind of just face the consequences here. But if white extends here, now black does this. The reason why black goes here is because if you do this, white will Atari and get forcing moves like this, which will help capture these stones. Whereas if you go here, white doesn't get any forcing moves on top. And not only captures these stones, but also gives white thickness. Here, white doesn't get any, like this move isn't directly sente, right? Even if black just backs off. You can see white's shape here isn't perfect. So it can't really be called thickness. There's peeps, black can extend out, stuff like that. So it's because you would play here as opposed to here. So that's the difference. White going here, though, is not super clear what's going to happen because white has this ladder, so black's unable to... I'm pretty sure white has this ladder. Black's unable to cover here and then Atari, because this stone's going to run into this white stone here at F13. So white would be able to capture. Yeah. But black can just keep extending, and white really doesn't want black to cover here, but since white played at P2, there's this obvious weakness at Q3. So this is why this is just unreasonable for white. I think black can extend once more and then can cover. And now black will capture the two stones. So that's why white has to go here. So that's what I thought would happen. I thought black would clamp, or even just cut first, you know. That seems reasonable to me. Black just ignores. And this I don't understand. Because I immediately just fixed my shape. We have a cut here. There's a cross cut here. And black just let white kill both sides, basically. I'd rather black had just gone here. You know? To split the side. But black played all these moves here. And then just leaves it? I don't understand. Like, maybe he's thinking he's preserving Aji, but he's actually destroyed a bunch of Aji once white has connected. And then black just protects back. So not only did black lose tempo on the bottom, black lost tempo on the right side. So then I was able to make perfect thickness here, since I captured these stones at 03, which means these stones at P4 are useless. So I'm able to push black towards my thickness. So again, I'm not sure what black was thinking here. Like, you played all these moves, you have to play from them. Then I play here. Might seem small, but in what I thought was black going here, maybe not directly sente. But this turn means I have to add a stone here. And black gets not a huge amount of points, but a solid territory on the bottom. Whereas playing here not only means black can never connect here, you know, J3 with O2, and it leaves some Aji in this corner, because having a stone here means I have a backdoor connection if I need it. So that was kind of my thinking. And then black plays here, which I think is a fine move, but black later turns it into a not great move. So, well, I'll come back to this move. Right now it's a fine move, but you will see that black turns it into a bad move. And then I cover. Yeah, black could have... This sort of move here, this dive, is pretty big. Because if I block, black can push through and just cut through. Not right now, but you can see black can actually push through, or even after this exchange, maybe there's some Aji now. But in general, this kind of dive is pretty big. So that's why I really wanted to get this move. But yeah, I was able to get a huge corner. I was able to pincer these stones, and I got black to answer L3. So, yeah. And then black plays here. This is a pretty good move. I'm not sure, because it's the same thing here. Black played R10, and it's gonna help an invasion in the upper right. Now I don't know why I should play this, Because black sure gets into the corner, but then I'll be able to attack the right side pretty strongly. Again, I have pretty strong thickness here. And black's corner isn't 100% alive. I kind of instinctively did this, kind of thinking if black makes this exchange, this hurts this group anyways, but I can just directly do this, I think. Yeah, because now if black answers, then I just fix the corner and there's no connection. Yeah, so this move feels good, but with this move being almost sente, because the group on the right is pretty weak, I don't think it's a good move. But I did this. Black immediately went here, and I descended. I always never know when to make the tiger's mouth or descend. I played the descent because I was really willing to give up the corner to attack the 2 stones potentially, but I think this move is better here. Yeah, black can play here into here, like this sort of thing, but I don't think it helps. Or maybe it does help, because I can't do this, I think, because after this, black can play here, and threatening to cut here or cut here. If I do this, though, this move is sente. Is it sente? Yeah, it's sente. Because if white plays here, push, Tari, and then black has a ladder here. Black, this stone here, goes to, actually, no, it's not a ladder, but I don't think it's a ladder. But even if it's not a ladder, black can capture on this side. So it's still fine for black, even if black doesn't have the ladder. I think it actually, the white stone goes here, and then black can't. It goes to f5, and black can't Atari either side. Could be wrong about that. Didn't go over this in the pre-review, just because of how many variations there are. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, this is sort of, I know this gives up. It's worse for white shape too, because you can see there's some weaknesses here in white shape, but it also means when white plays here, white's shape is better. There's just descending, white's more solid, but white's shape on the top is not as good. But again, I was really focused on the top, not the corner. Yeah. Black plays there, push, and then I don't know why I did this. Well, I know why. My idea is if black makes this exchange, one, it makes this stone the perfect move. It's in the great spot, and it weakens the left side or the right side. By just going here, it would force black to live in the corner somehow. Let's just say like that. And then this move, while it is good shape, it doesn't put as much pressure on the right side. But I can just clamp here and Atari and then Hane. And if black goes here, this would mean black's dead. Because directly black can't make enough space for 2 eyes. That means black would need to push and cut, but this push and cut will go nowhere fast because this white group here clearly has more liberties than this black group, and when white connects, black can't continue taking away liberties either. So that means black needs to connect here, and even though I can't wedge, because wedge and then he'll connect, I get a Hane this side, black connects, and after this, black still needs to add a move. So if black goes elsewhere, Hane, Hane, and black is dead. So this means black would need to live in Gote. So let's say even black exchanges that and then lives. You can see I'm able to then come back to this group here. And black is also reduced to 4 points. Whereas if black's able to later, like after this, if black went here, black gets a pretty sizable corner too. So don't know why I didn't do that directly. Not sure why. I wasn't even focused on the clamp, honestly. So that was laziness on my part. Black is worried about the right side group, which I understand. And then I play here. Play at G2 again. Point of L3 was for some potential odd G. So again, just testing black, see what he does. But black plays a very slack move. Black plays here. And just allows me to connect. And this is where J5 is a bad move, because J5 meant I'm going to attack. You know, I want to build. But then after this exchange, look, J5's is in a horrible spot. It's so over-concentrated. So black needs to use the stones on the board here. So black needs to play moves like this, you know, not let white connect, maybe moves like this, maybe moves like this. And my idea was if black did this, I was going to peep. And if he just played here, I was going to, you know, continue testing him. But again, the point of this initial kick here at C5 is to not really care about the corner territory. It's to attack the outside. Sure, you know, if you eventually get it, that's fine, but the same thing happened up in the upper right. Like, I was willing to give up the corner because, okay, I realize I played fourth line moves, and I really do want to just attack these two stones here. Same thing here. Black shouldn't be so focused on making the points. The point of this move is if white's surrounding black, black needs to make a life. This is the move to make black super solid. But here, it just lets white connect. So this is where earlier J5's a bad move. If black was worried about white coming in, black should play a move like this. Because if white answers, white probably wouldn't answer. So let's say white doesn't answer because it's not Sente. But if white tries to come in now, you can see black just, you know, plays a move like this. And white just can't connect. Connecting at J2 just doesn't work. So if black was worried about the side territory, he should, and maybe he didn't see the move, but still, if you're going to play this move, your mindset should be, I'm going to attack. Playing a move like this, protecting the territory, is a different story. But black played here. Again, it's a fine move, but black didn't play in a way to make it a good move, if that makes sense. So yeah, white just has a ton of points. A ton of points. And then black invades. So this tells me black is not super happy with the game, because black could have attacked these two stones before white had all these 4 stones here. Or at least some of these stones here. But now that white's super solid on this side, white only needs to worry about these 2 stones. So I Hane, and then cover. And here black should just directly jump out. Black tries to Atari once, and I connected and let black jump. I think I could just Hane, and if black takes, just play here. I think this is just a winning board position for white. Again, with the upper right situation and black not being completely solid on the right side. This feels like a win for white, and I can attack the upper side next. But I got greedy, and oops, connected here. And let black jump. Then I attach, and again, the point of E2 is to have the corner be super solid. So what if black ignores? If white Hanes, black can cut, and if white cuts this way and connects, notice this stone here at J5 is actually perfect. It would allow black to connect. If white Atari's this way, again, because of this move at E2, white can't cut through black at all. So this means white would just, you know, I don't know, maybe make these exchanges. Not sure. And then come out somehow like this. But you can see these 3 stones here now are pretty light. Maybe jump once more, and then, I don't know, something like this. Are pretty light. And white's making no points here. But black plays so passively here. Again, this move helps white so much. White can attach. So yeah, I should either just jump out or try to just directly lean against this stone. Because if black Hanes, the idea is something like this into Atari. Wedge into Atari. And now there's this move here. And if black takes, I can then Atari and connect. That was kind of the idea. Or, yeah, this is, yeah, if black goes there, I can extend. And if black plays this ko, all these moves are ko threats to run out. So that's be pretty dangerous for black. But black, though, this is why I didn't do it directly. Black can just kind of give up the stone and take a strong shape in the center. Although it is gote, so maybe it's not. So maybe I should have just done it directly. But my idea was having this exchange here would mean this ponuki wouldn't be connected. Plus, I want to attack the whole thing too, you know. Black just connects, yeah. Too passive. Now I go here, and then black jumps. I just extend, and black is struggling. Han at the end of 2 stones. Pretty powerful move. I don't think it's necessary though. I think I can just keep surrounding black because black can't cut this shape. So, but again, I was confident because yeah, black just runs out now. I really like this move. Again, looking at the weakness here of black's shape. Yeah, looking at the weakness here. Black plays here and then caps. So this cap is fine. I'll come back to the cap. I play here again, very similarly to the bottom. Just playing on the shape point, just to destroy black's shape. And just see how black answers. Black plays actually the strongest here. Haning and then descending. And I was like, oh, I actually cannot do anything here. Just get captured. But now there's this cut at D17. So then I push here. Now black needs to go here, because this only leaves 1 cut black needs to worry about. But black descends back, and notice when black covers, black now has 2 cuts. So even though black helps, you know, the stone here at G11, if he has just blocked here, black only has 1 cut to worry about. But by going here, and I cut, and this is what happened in the game, black has 2 cuts to worry about. So I'm not sure why black didn't just cover. If you're worried about white pushing through, then that's when black should have played a little, backed off a little. So it really feels like sometimes my student plays moves, but doesn't think about like the consequences of the moves, and until I play, you know, until I play the stone on the board, or he doesn't follow up as he should. Like here, like what's the, like, obviously white's gonna look for this move, so while you're reading you should, do I like this? And if I don't like this, well then let's just back up a little bit. So there's no, like, it feels like there's no foresight, there's no, I don't know what to say, or like what to call it. But yeah, because this is just a 1 move deal here, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just lets me cut through. Maybe he just thought it was better, but this is much worse. Because now play here, shape point. This is huge. It's actually pretty difficult for black to answer, because there's this cut here now. Got it there. Didn't have to be if black just blocked and went here. Black could just continue. You know, just continue the pressure, or maybe this one. Could just continue the pressure on. But now playing here and then extending, you know, even black could just give up that stone, right? And then, you know, white, he could still attack this bottom group too. But yeah, he created more cuts in his group by playing this way. So shape point, connect. So now I can actually connect any time at B9. So he really needed to play here. So now I cut here. So now I'm able to have double cuts. And then black's like, oh, I gotta do something with that group. Pretty risky leaving the 1 stone and Atari though in the center. So Hane, push here, and then connects, and then I connect. And then he pushes through, and I'm like, huh, this is actually, okay, interesting. I take, and he plays there, and then I just come down and take the corner, and then he extends. I connect, and then he plays here. So what actually has happened? So we actually just had a huge trade. He traded the bottom, because I got all these moves here and connect. But he actually got the left side stones here. So this is actually one thing I was really happy with my student about, is he'd be very unwilling to give up stones. But here he actually gave up the stones on the bottom, and he saw profit for it. And that's the thing. Like, in his games, whenever he would give up stones, it would be like he captures like 4 stones, or he doesn't even get a profit. But here, by playing the way he did, he was able to solidify the left side and take a profit. Now, I still think it's good for white, because again, there's this cut at d17, so the left side isn't that huge, whereas after my cap, this bottom is pretty strong, and as again, black played Ajikeshi in the bottom right. But the fact that he did it anyways, I think is a good sign. So this is very good for my student. Willing to Furikawari here. Sure, I give up the bottom, but I take the left side. And that's what you need to do to get better. You need to be willing to make trades. That's what Go is about. So, he takes the stone. And at this point, I should just do this upper right corner business. But where do I go instead? I do the cut now. Yeah, the cut now is huge. The issue was black to defend is Gote, but white to play is Sente, right? Yeah, it's difficult here. It's very difficult. Black connects. At least Go here's got to at least be here, right? But maybe it still doesn't matter. After this, it does matter, I think. Yeah, maybe this move's okay. Yeah, it's just so difficult. I don't think any move here is good. Maybe this move is the best move. Because if white goes... No, actually, no. No, there's nothing. I don't think... Yeah. It just hurts. It just hurts black. Hurts black a lot. It just feels like better shape, doesn't it? But maybe this move is fine. I extend. Here's a big thing. Black went here, which is the big move. But after here, if black ignores, I can actually push and cut this. And cut off these stones here. Which means black would end in Gote. Right? Because black had to connect. Like this. Which is ouch. So I was able to take, it's like a 20-point swing or 15-point swing in the corner and Sente. Whereas if you go here, sure, it means white, needs to come back. But now you have Sente because you've protected the stones here. And even though it's awful shape as well, it's still, you get Sente. And Sente can mean everything in this game. And yeah. Just, I think taking Sente is bigger here. Plus, black does something weird here. After this, black plays here. But playing this sort of move is only good in like a fight when you need to connect. But here, white's dead. So if white's able to just push here, black just loses 2 points in Sente. So it's just better to just block here. So good shape is only necessary when you need it, which I know is, very vague. But in this case, like, white's dead here. And there's not really much white can do, to run out here. So, again, just it feels like, I want to make good shape, but only when you need to, So, yeah, this move is not good. Even though it's good shape, in this case, it just loses points. So now I cover again. I was just so fixated on the good shape. And then he lives. And then I played there. And then black plays here, which is an interesting move, but it's very similar to black's cap here. This black's cap here at h13. It's like black's not thinking of the consequences of his moves. Like here, this move's fine. Let me get there really quick. Yeah, this move's fine. I block. And I push. And all black needs to do is cover, And even if I cut, maybe there's some Aji here. Maybe push here. Yeah, there's some Aji actually. Like something like this. Which means I need to come back. Even do this. Or no, do this. And then black connects and then goes here. But after this, and I push through, black just does this. And then I just capture. So I just captured the stone anyways. And I'm not sure what else black thinks white could do. Like, did black think white might, like ignore or pass or what? So if black isn't willing to play, you know, the follow-ups here, there's no point in playing this move. Black should just, you know, back off a little bit or play something like this. Basically, if black is worried about the cuts, why play in a way that leaves cuts? So, yeah, black just gives white, basically allows white, you know, black ignored, basically allowed white to go here, and then black played on the inside and weakened his own group. So again, I don't understand. If you're going to play moves, you need to be willing to play their proper follow-ups, right? This obviously leaves double weakness. Like, even here, what if black just connected here and I will go here? Black gained something, but black covered and then gave up the stone. So I don't understand. This is just not good play from black. Black covers, and then comes out. And at this point, I knew I was winning this game because there's just no way black can live here. I was just that confident, honestly, because I even just jump and I say, okay, black, try to live on the bottom. And also look at this group here, the black group here. There's Samaji. There's Samaji. Black plays there, cover, and then peeps. And again, I understand this is black's last chance, but yeah. And then I just push, and he's trying to cut off the center group, but even if he, you know, is able to, you know, surround and whatever, and oh no, he surrounded me. I can Atari here if I need to. Because if black connects, then I can save this stone, and black can't save these 3 stones. Which means black needs to take, and then I take. So these stones can either connect out, which they will most definitely do, but also I have this backdoor connection here, which I think black didn't see. But again, he's trying. He's trying. Hane. Cut. Atari. And at this point as well, I am looking at, like, at here. Or let's say, you know, black just goes here. I connect. And then he takes something like this. I'm looking at this move. Because now black actually cannot capture these stones. Right? There's no way black can capture the stones. Which means black will need to take these stones off the board, these white stones. And that's huge. If black needs to spend all of these moves inside his own territory while I, you know, get it for free, like, yes please. So yeah, that's another reason why black playing this way just isn't good. After this, black cuts though, and this just doesn't work because I can Atari, and he goes here, but I guess he didn't see this this was an Atari, this move here. So I just capture and connect these stones back. And yeah, black can cut here, but black can't even capture the stones as well. Yeah, pretty complicated game, but it just felt like black was playing in a way that he didn't know the consequences of his moves. And again, I'm not sure what black was reading or what, but it just, like, it felt like black didn't see to me, the simple follow. Like, you're gonna play a nice move, what if I cut you? You're gonna play a double one space jump, what if, you know, I try to push through? It felt like black wasn't, you know, thinking one move ahead almost, you know? Otherwise, he should have played accordingly. But black did do some things pretty well in this game. Black's opening was pretty good, I think. And black's willingness to do the Fudikawari towards the end of the middle game, I think shows growth. Because he was a former chess player. And apparently he was pretty decent at it. But, you know, like, pieces are so important in that game. So he has a hard time in Go, or at least this is what he says, or this is why he says he has a hard time doing this, giving up stones. But yeah, in this game he was able to give up the bottom and then take the left side. Even though he tried bringing it back to life, you know, the fact that he, you know, when I was playing all these stones in the corner, you know, C3, C4, you know, ignoring me, I think that's good. Because going down a simple branch meant black would lose. So at least black's, you know, trying something to get to a winning position. Yeah, I think that's it for this game. Yeah, I think that's it for this game. If you have any questions about this game, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, look forward to the next video. See ya, everyone.